הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שרבים גם יחד. 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 שרבים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so wonderful to have everyone here on this beautiful Shabbat evening. A Shabbat evening in which we get to celebrate not only this beautiful day that God gives to us to say, hey, slow down, relax, let go of everything else. But also a wonderful Shabbat evening in which we get to celebrate 5 amazing young women, our confirmation class. I am so proud of each and every one of them, of Bella and Emily, Deb and Alexis and Megan, for all that they have done throughout this past year and years past, but I'm also really excited about what lies ahead. Oh, I always get in trouble with that one. Just such a blessing tonight. They're going to be helping lead us in our Shabbat service tonight, and you're going to be participating in it as well. So first, let's take a moment. We want to welcome each other because I know that there are some who are guests who haven't been here for a while, or maybe not even in this space, because we had a little issue over at TBS, but that's okay. We're here, and we're very happy to be here. So let's take a moment to say hello and greet one another with the Shabbat Shalom. Go ahead. That's okay, Marla, we all do. As Jews, we're not vampires, that's good. I know I've had garlic. Yeah. So, I want to just take a moment just to introduce somebody as well. So, Debbie, please forgive me. I'm going to introduce Debbie Raven. So stand up for just a brief moment. Debbie is our newest addition to our temple office. And so sometimes when you all will be calling the office, Debbie might be answering the phone. And now you have a face with a voice. So Debbie, we're very happy to have you here. So Shabbat Shalom and welcome. So we welcome, of course, Shabbat with all of the beautiful light and the sweetness of Shabbat. And I'm going to invite our confirmation students to come and to join me over here at the table. We're going to turn in our prayer books, please, to page 3 for our candle lighting. As we join together, let's bring Shabbat to ourselves. Bring Shabbat to our families. Let's bring Shabbat to the whole world and we join together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehaniner shel Shabbat.
As we turn in our prayer books to page 5, as we join together with Bella and our confirmation class with Kiddush. Ladies, thank you very much. So what is confirmation? Confirmation is relatively new tradition. It started back in the 1800s when we said to ourselves, wait a second, why in the world are we saying to 13-year-olds, you are now an adult? And so the Reform movement took away the idea of bar and bat mitzvah for a little while and started this beautiful tradition of confirmation. It's exactly what the word is, confirming their Judaism and their place in the Jewish community. So, in 10th grade, at the end of the 10th grade year, our students gather together and they lead a Shabbat service and they share with us their thoughts about what it means to be a Jew for them today. Now, of course, bar and bat mitzvah came back, and so, once you have a tradition, you never let it go. So you don't get rid of something. So we go ahead and we kept not only bar and bat mitzvah, but then confirmation as another stepping stone with our students, and of course then 12th grade graduation. So every time I have our students together, the thing I always remind them is, this isn't the end, that there's always more. Continued learning, lifelong learning. So it's always about the time, by the way, of Shavuot, which we just celebrated this past week. And Shavuot is the celebration of when God gave us the Torah, when we received Torah at Sinai, and we read the 10 Commandments, and we study and we celebrate. And so it's always been traditional to have confirmation around Shavuot. I'm happy to say, a lot of congregations this past week have had a lot of confirmation selfies, and we have done the same. So you can see those later after Shabbat. And but being able to celebrate all these classes together, receiving Torah, And later on in our service, our confirmation students are going to be reading our 10 Commandments. We're going to stand just like we stood at Sinai together when we received the Torah. They'll chant for us those words. The English will be in your booklets. I'll show you that later. But that's kind of the journey that we're going to be taking today. So allow us to go ahead and turn now to page 6. I'm going to invite Megan Griffin to please come forward and share with us, start getting us into this beautiful mood of Shabbat.
On page 6, the second poem. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
We continue now on page 20, Lechadodi.
Lechadodi, Likrak Kana, B'nei Shabbat Mikabela. 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 שמור וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ונתינה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת מקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת מקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו בדרך, כי היא מקור הברכה, מרשני מנסולה, סוף מעשה במחשבה כולה, לקראתי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת מקבלה, לקראתי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת מקבלה.
Top of the next page, verse 5.
Toreri, Toreri, Kiva Ore, Uri, 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 Shina Beri, Kiva Nala, Ikima, Nala, Hadati, Ikrakana, B'nei Shabbat Mikabela, Nala, Hadati, Ikrakana, B'nei Shabbat Mikabela.
We rise. We turn and we face the door, okay, with verse number 9.
בואי ושלום עטרת בנה, גם בשמחה ובצום עולם, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. בני שבת מקבלה, לקראת קלה, בני שבת מקבלה.
Hi, I'm Megan. The commandment I chose to talk about tonight is honor your father and mother. For me, honoring your parents is an essential part of growing up and developing as a person. I honor my parents in their dedication and commitment to their everyday duties. On the other hand, I love them more than space. After all, your parents, your family, are the ones that no matter what are always there for you. It might be hard to connect the two words, However, with my parents' constant involvement in my life, it came very easy. In my dictionary, honor means to treat someone with the utmost respect and dignity, whereas love means to support and show passion. The word hover seemed to intertwine the two perfectly for me. Hover is an interesting word all by itself. If you think about it, it's a combination of honor and love. However, it literally means to stay very close to a person. I love and honor my parents because they are there for me 24/7, hovering about everything I do. I wrote a poem that truly shows how much love and honor I have for all parents, especially mine. Hover. From the moment we are born and forevermore, our parents hover over us. Even when we take our first steps, our parents are standing above us, preparing to catch us the moment we fall. When we walk into kindergarten for the first time, our parents are standing by the door to check if we are okay. When we go to camp for the first time, our parents are waving at us in the bus until we round the corner and disappear from view. Even when we go on a first date and leave the sheltered cocoon our parents have built for us, our parents are waving, yet probably hiding their true emotions, as probably mine, and wishing us a great time. When we leave for college, our parents are wiping away their tears, yet still staying strong. When we get married, our parents are there making one of our most memorable days the best it can be. Even when we start a family, our parents are there by our side, waiting for the moment to say, I am a grandparent. When our parents are in need of our help, we give them the courage and strength to keep fighting. When our parents are struggling for that last breath, we hold their hand and relive our most cherished moments. Even when our parents are no longer here, we stand above them and remember the impact they had on so many people's lives. From the moment our parents are gone and forevermore, we hover over them. Thank you.
We continue Chatzi Kaddish, page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
אמרתי רב ירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי כל יום אחד, ובחיי כל בית ישראל.
בגדה ובזמן קריב. אמן. יש לרבה מבורך, לעלמם לא מעלמיה, יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח, יתברך ורומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתעלה שמי קודשה.
בריחו.
לעילה מברכתה ושירתה.
תושבעתה ונרמתה, תמירה מימה. Amen. We turn to page 28 and we rise for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai
Amen.
This is an hour of change. Within it we stand, uncertain on the border of life. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly, on the border of life. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'arib ha'arafi.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Amcha Torah u'mitzvot u'kibud mishpatim Otanu limadta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shavenu v'kumenu nasiach mechuketa v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם אמן. כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו ובהם נגיומם בלילה אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Amen.
Please be seated. As we all continue together, Ba'ahavta, page 36. Be'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levacha u'b'kol nafshecha u'b'kol me'odecha v'hayu adramim ha'eleh asher Anochim Mitzavechem Hayom Avelavecha V'shinatam Levanecha V'dibarta bam V'shitecha V'meitecha U'lechtecha V'tevech U'shofecha U'kunecha U'shartam Me'olot Al Yadecha V'hayu levalavot V'einechem U'tavtam Al mezuzot beitecha U'v'shalecha Leman tizkeru V'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem Kedoshim Elohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher Hotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Liot Lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai.
But first, let me take a selfie. Filter, check. Hashtag confirmation speech, and post. This 5-inch piece of plastic is what our life is basically consumed of right now. We may not realize it, but we contribute most of our time, focus on other people's lives and what they are tweeting or putting as their status, instead of living in the moment. Every day, we need to realize how grateful we are for our friends and family who are by our sides. The fourth commandment states, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Shabbat is considered the day of rest because the world was created in only 6 days. During this joyous Friday night and up until Saturday evening, we should be unplugging from our electronic devices. They are restricting us from the ability to appreciate the creation of the world and remembering the happy memories throughout the week. My goal for myself, and I do encourage you to do the same, is to take a day without any distractions or to unplug from everything and view the world from a different perspective. We do not need to be always preoccupied with something else when we have our loved ones surrounding us. Life is filled with great memories, and there is never a moment to spare when we are with the people we love. I mean, who can't resist an addicting game of Candy Crush? But spending quality time with family scores more points than you ever will. Thank you. Please turn to page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
מלכות שחרה ובניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה עלינו ואמרו, זה עלינו ואמרו. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ad. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. La 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 la. ya na 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 na.
Hello. When we were sat in the library at TBS and chose which of the first 10 commandments we felt we most related to, it took me a while to figure it out. Eventually, I came across the Second Amendment. You shall not make unto yourself any graven image, or you must not create or worship any idol or shrine of any sort. I pondered this commandment for a moment, and am still questioning it today, the real meaning of it today. We as humans all idolize or look up to someone, whether it be a musician, a teacher, an athlete, or a peer. We all have someone who we consider our idol and strive to be just like them, or even better. The question is, what makes this form of idolization different from the type mentioned in the 10 Commandments? When you think of an idol, what is the first idea that comes to your head? Think about that for a second. When you think of an idol, do you think of the golden calf with people worshiping at its feet? A person that you look up to? Or maybe even American Idol? Everyone has their own interpretation of what they believe an idol is. And that is what makes this commandment so thought-provoking today. When God gave Moses the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai, he sought for Moses to make sure that no other gods were worshipped, other than the one and only. God, most likely, did not take into consideration any other form of idolization that might occur in the distant future. Is idolizing your favorite singer violating the Second Commandment? I believe very strongly that there is only one God and that we should not worship any other god, statue, or authoritative figure. But I also feel like admiring a role model is not disregarding the Second Commandment. Another point is, when does admiring become an unhealthy obsession? Idolizing and admiring can be considered two completely different words. When you admire someone, it is very humble, calm, and respectful. Idolizing someone can take it to the next level and become radical, obsessive, and sometimes a little creepy. When I looked up idolizing in the thesaurus, some of the words that came up were worshiping, venerating, and exalting, which are very serious and religious terms. I also saw admiring, adoring, and revering. Evidently, there are two entirely different sides to the concept of idolization. It just depends on how you interpret the word. I have come to the conclusion that there are many different ways to perceive idolization. I have also determined that admiring/looking up to someone is not violating the Second Commandment. What is your decision on the subject? How do you interpret the Second Commandment? You shall not make unto yourself any graven image. Thank you.
We continue on page 44, Shabbat, truly a joyous time, and especially with our confirmation students, it is a joyous time. Yismahu.
Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei bonei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei bonei Shabbat. Mekadosh li Shabbat, kulam yismechu v'yitamdu mitzuvah Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei bonei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei bonei Shabbat. ובשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, Yom Togarata Shabbat Yismechu V'Malakutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'Korei Onei Shabbat Yismechu V'Malakutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'Korei Onei Shabbat Zecher L'Maaseh Ishi Shabbat Zecher L'Maaseh Ishi Shabbat Yismechu V'Malakutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'Korei Onei Shabbat Yismechu V'Malakutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'Korei Onei Shabbat.
Emily.
God gave us an abundance of commandments to guide our lives with. And the problem that we run into is that some things don't apply to us anymore in the way they did when they were written because of technology and information and different things we have. But the important part of knowing God's commandments becomes not knowing them by heart and as they were stated, but as understanding why that commandment was given to us. Then we can listen to what God meant and not what He said. So what did God mean when He told us not to steal? When trying to find the whole meaning of a word, the first thing that I do is look it up. To steal can really mean two basic things. One is to take the property of others without permission or right, pertaining to objects or ideas. The other is to transport something or someone secretly, like in the sentence, they stole across the room. Then I ask what these definitions have in common and what their main points are. They both concern doing something without the knowledge of a person who's involved in that situation. And the main point in one is to be secretive, and the main point in the other is to take something. The common thread is deception. The second thing I do is look up antonyms to that word. Some of these things are to give, to let go, to receive, to release, and to protect. With all this information, I can say that stealing is making something out to be yours that isn't, and making it seem like you aren't doing something that you really are. All of these things are things that we shouldn't do. But on the flip side, in order to do the opposite of steal, or as the commandment states, not steal, we should give people things, be candor about ourselves and our actions, and take the gifts that are given to us freely and not those that are given to us reluctantly or unwillingly.
We continue now with our Amidah as we begin on page 46. I invite you to please rise.
Adonai Sfatai Tivta Adonai Sfatai Tivta Ufiadi Tehilatecha Ufiagi Tehilatecha Adonai Sfatai Tivta Adonai Sfatai Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imateinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Reuel, Ha'el Ha'gadol Ha'imur Ha'norah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Kanei Hakol, V'Zocher Hasirot V'Imahot, U'Me'bid Kulam Livnei Le'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magi Avraham V'Ezra Saram, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah L'Hoshia, Morid HaTal, Mechakel Hayim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofel Mo'odim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayeh Emunato, B'Shemei Afar, Michamocha B'Gevurot, U'Midam Elav, Melech Menit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Lema'an Atah Chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yehallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen. Please be seated.
Please turn to page 55. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied. Dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, with the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, and bitterness, and the poverty and physical and spiritual of humans. Shock us, Adonai, to deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Please turn to page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Barto Shimcha,
And the Kodesh.
Growing up, I noticed that God would spell what people would spell God as G-D, and that concept confused me. But I never really questioned it, and I did not think much of it. As I learned more about Judaism, I realized that we spell it this way because we do not want to use God's name in vain. It allows the Jewish people to give God's name high respect and reverence. The third commandment states that, "You shall not swear falsely by the name of the Lord your God."
This commandment instructs us not to lie, break promises, and speak God's name in vain. In some way, we are faced with a difficult choice each day. Do I lie or tell the truth? You may ask yourself this question when you are debating to tell your mom whether or not you finished all your homework, or when your friend asks if her new shirt is cute, or when you ask yourself if you're making the right decision. In many situations, people lie to make the problem easier, or to simply get out of the predicament. What many of us today don't realize is that lying harms ourselves and everyone else. One lie can end a friendship, a relationship, or even a life. Telling the truth may be scary and may seem like the wrong option, but ultimately, being honest benefits everyone. Honesty allows you to see the true side of people, allows you to ask for help, and allows you to share respect for yourself and others. Breaking promises is another struggle we encounter frequently. Bringing a promise does not benefit anyone, it only makes matters worse. As a high school student, I realized that it becomes harder and harder to stay true to your commitments. When life takes over and keeps us busy, we find it challenging to keep the promise about meeting up with a friend, doing our chores, or even praying to God each night. Telling secrets and gossiping go hand in hand with breaking promises. Sharing confidential information only breaks trust and makes yourself look bad. In our society with the social media, everyone needs to know the latest gossip and needs to be involved in everyone's life. Gossiping prevents the possibility of sharing a secret with a close friend or keeping something on the down low. I believe that we need to think before we speak and realize that breaking promises does not help us in the long run. Lastly, speaking God's name in vain happens every day without us even acknowledging it. It seems normal to say, "Oh my God," instead of, "Oh my gosh," or "My goodness." People do not even think twice when those words come out of their mouth, as it has become common and socially acceptable. When I was little, my mom used to correct me when I said, "Oh my God," but I never understood why it was so wrong to say that. Now I've learned that if we want to respect God and worship Him, we may not use His name in vain. Overall, following the third commandment will help yourself be the best you can be. Not lying, keeping promises, and respecting God's name benefits ourselves as we become better people and learn how to respect ourselves and others. The cycle of honesty and respect is very important in the Jewish faith, as I have come to learn and will continue learning throughout my years. Thank you.
We continue on page 60, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Yatahu Melech Hadon Shalom, ki atahu melech Adon, le'ol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim le'olam. Tov be'einecha levarer et amcha Yisrael be'odeh u'be'hosham b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim
So while it may not be Shabbat Shabbat morning. Well, it might not be Monday or Thursday. Tonight we read from Torah. We don't read the parasha of the week, but rather we read this portion of our 10 commandments for on this Shavuot. Hopefully, I already know, you have seen just how amazing these young women have taken these commandments and how they have truly brought them to life. Torah is an Eitz Chaim, it's a tree of life. It might have been written down 2,000 years ago, but we continue to let it breathe, we continue to let it grow and to expand on how we turn it over and over. And that is exactly what these amazing young women have done tonight with our 10 commandments. So what happens at confirmation is we see a new blooming, blossoming growth of our wonderful young women. And it's so exciting to see where they're going to be going. To think back, and because it hasn't been that long since each of you stood up here as a banot mitzvah, as a bat mitzvah, where you read from Torah and you interpreted and you taught us, and can you believe the words that you said a few years ago? Yes, you really wrote those. No, I know. You really wrote those. But tonight you grew to a new place, and it's beautiful. So we hope that you will now lead us into this next portion of our reading of Torah, sharing these commandments, because the 5 of you stood with each of us at Sinai as well. And so we turn in our prayer books to page 246, and I'm going to ask Megan and Alexis and Devin and Emily and Bella to leave your books there for now. You're going to need your hands. It'll help us with coming forward as we join in our Torah service, and we'll bring it down here so we can bring Torah to the people. Please rise.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, U'devar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadelu Adonai iti, Unerom b'ma Shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagidula, v'hagivura, v'hatiferet, v'hanetzach v'hahod. Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'hamid na'aseh lechol lerosh.
I'd like to invite forward to come up and help us in holding all the beautiful Torah ornaments, the siblings of our confirmation class, Matthew and Jacob, Julia, Ethan, and Audrey. And then if I can also have Samantha, you will come forward and take a seat in just a moment. I'm going to borrow you later. So go ahead and lay it out. You'll go ahead and give to them all of our Torah ornaments there. And I'm going to have you all remain standing. All right, we need one more. Hang on one second. It's right here. There we go. You said that right. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now I need you guys to go stand over there with Audrey. Audrey, Julianne, you guys go. I say these two. Go right where you are. So we're going to stay standing here. And the reason why we stay standing is because we all stood at Sinai together. So when the Ten Commandments were revealed, there we go. When the Ten Commandments, hello. When the Ten Commandments were revealed to us, we all stood together at Sinai, so that's why we stay standing. However, if anybody does need to be seated, please be seated. I promise lightning does not come down. So, but we're going to join together. If I can have my confirmation class, come gather around over here. Come close. There you go. Because you are going to recite our brachot on page 250. We will all do then the response.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chavodu mikol ha'amim, v'na'atan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vaydaber Elohim et kol ha'dvarim ha'ela lemor. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim.
Lo yihye lecha Elohim aherim al panai. Lo ta'aseh lecha fesel v'chol timuna asher b'shamayim mima'al v'asher ba'aretz mitachat v'asher b'mayim mitachat la'aretz. Lo tishtachaveh lahem velo ta'udem ki Anohi Adonai Elohecha Elchanan Gokeh Avon Avot Alvanim Al Shileshim Ve'al Ribeim Lo L'Sonah Le'oseh Chesed La'alafim Le'ohava L'shomerei mitzvotam. Lo tisa et shem Adonai Elohecha lashav ki lo yenakeh Adonai asher yisa et shemo lashav zachor et yom HaShabbat lekadesho. Sheshet yamim ta'avod ve'asita kol melachtecha ve'yom hashvi'i
Shabbat Adonai Elohecha, lo taseh kol melacha, ata uvicha uvitecha, abdecha v'latrach v'chamtecha v'yirha asher b'shalecha. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz et hayam ve'et kol asher bam vayana bayom hashvi'i al kein Be'ra Adonai et yom haShabbat vayikadeshehu kaveh et avicha ve'et imecha lema'an ya'arifu yamecha al ha'adamah asher Adonai Elohecha noten la.
Lo tirsach, lo tin'af, lo tignob, lo ta'anev re'echa eid shaker, lo tachmod beit re'echa, lo tachmod eshet re'echa, ve'avdo ve'amato ve'shoro ve'chamoro, ve'kol asher l're'echa.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And it is while we have the Torah before us that we offer a prayer of Mishaberach, of healing for all of those who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. I invite you to take your friends, your family, anyone who we know that is in need of healing into our hearts and minds as we recite this blessing. Mishaberach Avotenu v'imotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. Hu yivarech et hacholim hakadosh baruch hu yimaleh rachamim alehem. להכילת לימם ולפרוטם ולהחזיקם וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים. רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. We remain standing as we give honor to our Torah, and Samantha, you're going to be right there because I'm going to give you the Torah in just a second to address that.
וזאת התורה ששם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאללה לה לילה, יאללה לה לילה, יאללה לה לילה, יאללה לה לילה. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Right here. Yep, you're holding it. needs to be taken away from you, so somebody can grab that sword here. Now, you go over and take, there you go, you can be in the back. Perfect. Is that okay, David? Okay, good. And then Matthew Griffin, Bill Platmore, Melanie Tisman. Karen, let's move this that direction, but we're just going to move the furniture, we don't mind. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. So we have a tallit, the big white tallit right there. No, not yet. No, you guys are good. You're good. We'll do that one more time. Okay. So, one more time. There you are. If you will, ladies, get nice and close, and if you will go ahead and put the tallit over there, right in the center, right there. Here you go. Make it take off the shoes. So here's the beauty of why we have human chuppah poles. And so that way we make sure that I don't talk for too long. But scooch over a little bit more so you're inside of there. Very good. There you go. I know you want to be close to that. Perfect. Why do we have you underneath the chuppah? It's because, you see, when we received Torah, it was as if it was this marriage between God and the Jewish people. It's okay, you can pick them off, it's good. Because God said, remove your shoes, you are standing on holy ground. Okay, so, but it was as a marriage that was between God and the Israelite people. The five of you, as you have stood here tonight, and as you have been a part of this entire year, and years prior to it, and in the future, you are a part of the sacred covenant. You are underneath the chuppah. All of you along with God. Now parents, don't worry about that. The chuppah later on is something else. But for tonight, it represents the covenant that the five of you are a part of, is so integral to who you are. On the four corners, of course, of the tzitzit, reminding us of the mitzvot that God gave to us, and that we're supposed to study them and learn from them and grow from them and even challenge them and wrestle with them. And each of you have. This year, I asked you questions about what does God mean to you? What is God? We did God shopping, where we talked about all the different aspects of God. And each of you wrestled with what God is to you and where God is in your life today. And the beauty of it is, if you think about it in past years, it's changed, it's evolved. Keep shifting, sorry. But you know, each of you continue to grow in your own way. Megan, I have watched you grow since you were just a baby. I have watched you be able to grow in intellect as well as strength and physical ability. You have grown into this amazing young woman who challenges so many beautiful things but sees all of the beauty of family, as do each of you. Bella, I have watched you as the big sister who totally embraces and loves your younger siblings. I know there's moments, but Bella, to hear you speak so kindly and compassionately for them is truly this wonderful gift. Devin, you, the actress, the singer, the one who loves to be there in the spotlight, however, you never make the spotlight only your own. You share it so much, not only with your brother, but you share it also with your friends. You make sure others come in and enjoy that light as well. Emily, you are a woman of great words. I am always in awe at how you take words from a page and you make them dance. You bring them to life and you give them to each of us in your own way. It is a gift that I am always in awe of. And Alexis, watching you throughout the years grow and become faster and fiercer, more fierce, whatever that word is in there. Emily will correct me later. But more fierce. You know, when you decided to put soccer balls on your talit, when you became a bat mitzvah, we kind of went, huh? But you know what? They represent something greater than just the game. They represent the friendships that you create with your team, the connections that you create as well. But you see, your life isn't only about what you do on the field. Alexis, I watch your life truly evolve into greatness and how you bring your team members together and make sure that all feel included and a part of it. And I've watched also how you struggled this past year when you were injured, but we are so grateful that you are healthy now. Yes. Each of you. You stand underneath this kuppah held up by your parents, by your family, but your parents and your family are not the only ones who hold up this kuppah. We hold it up too, because we know that you hold it over us as well. May you always feel yourselves being a part of this covenant. May you always feel a connection with each other and with this entire congregational family. And may you always feel the blessings that we all share with you as well, and especially at this moment.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka.
May God's light shine on you, in you, and through you, and may God be truly gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yaseh lecha shalom.
May each of you, Megan and Bella, Devin, Emily, and Alexis, always feel God's presence with you no matter where you are or what you are doing. May God continue to give you a life that is filled with health, with happiness, and most important of all, a life that is filled with shalom. And let us say, Amen. Samantha, thank you very, very much. We're going to ask everyone to please rise. We return the Torah to the ark. We join together with Eitz Chaim Ki. Please.
Eitz Chaim Ki, lama chazima, v'tom teha, me'oshar, deracheha, darcheinom, v'chol tzivotzeha, shalom. Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashuvah, Chadei
in contour to come on forward to our bima here. And then to join her standing in the front row, Steve Sherman representing our brotherhood, Sarah Schweitz representing our sisterhood, and the newest member of our board of directors, Bill Contour. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Sarah?
It's been my pleasure to work with Lori Griffin to help plan out the presentation this evening and some of the activities that we have for the girls. We're very proud of you guys. You've done a wonderful job today. We've known all of you since you were very little, a couple of you since you were babies, and hopefully you will enjoy the gifts that we have for you, that the temple has, and the sisterhood and the brotherhood and the parents, and treasure those and learn from them. So I'm going to tell you what we have for you tonight. The first gift is from the board. What did that look? And the gift is a Tanakh, and may you read it and learn from it and continue to learn from it for many, many years to come. And it's pocket sized, so you can take it with you wherever you go. The next gift that we have for you is from the sisterhood. And we don't actually have the actual gift tonight, but we have a certificate for you. There was a little issue with shipping. The gift is going to be a car mezuzah. Now don't take that to mean that you all get cars. Because that won't be happening very soon, at least in our family. But you can keep it, and the idea of the mezuzah is that as an adult, as you drive your car, you have your mezuzah on your car to watch over you as you drive. And I know as parents, we need all the help we can get when our children start driving. So may you enjoy those and put them on your cars when you get them, or your parents' cars. The next thing that we have for you is from the Brotherhood, and this book, it's a book called Journeys to a Jewish Life, written by Paula Amon, and the book is about it's stories from the spiritual journeys of American Jews. So it's got a lot of little stories in there that will help you learn how other Jews in America have found their spirituality and the different paths that they've all taken to embrace their Judaism. And the last gift is from the parents, and this is something that Lori and I specifically picked out for you. Since we have all girls, we thought how nice to give the girls something that is for a girl and that they can hopefully keep and treasure forever. The gift is a necklace, and it's a hamsa. And the hamsa, there's a lot of different interpretations, but hamsa is the hand of God, and in the middle is a little stone, and it's the evil eye, or to ward off the evil eye. And so you can wear them. Hopefully it's something that you can wear forever. We tried to get something that wasn't little girlish, because you're not little girls anymore. Something that you can hopefully wear forever. And for 3 of you that are going to be going to Israel very soon, I think it would make me feel better if you had your outfit on to watch over you. And that's another very exciting thing, is that 3 of these girls will make their bond even closer as they leave for Israel at the end of this month on the ties trip, which I can't talk about because it'll upset me.
They will be fine.
Anyway, may you enjoy all the gifts, and may they help you to continue to embrace your Judaism as you have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. And finally is your certificate of your confirmation. Again, sorry, it's not a driver's license, but some of you are getting very close. So, Alexis and Megan, Emily, Bella, and Devin. I'm going to ask the 5 of you, if you will, please, to put your gifts behind you on the seats there. Leave them there, and you're going to come back up here because we have another blessing, please? You will come and join us. And I'd like to invite forward our parents, Lori, Angelica, and Avalove, parents of Alexis, to come forward to share a parental blessing to our confirmation students. So first we'll be seated.
Could you please rise?
The parents.
Parents.
Just the parents of the confirmation class. That's okay. And hopefully you have your sheets there. Ladies, listen to your parents.
What joy and pride we feel today as we stand with you and share this day with you.
Satisfaction of extraordinary accomplishments, the fulfillment of passionate, long-held objectives, the anticipation of well-known and unknown challenges.
We have watched you develop values, character, sensitivity, and compassion. And we will watch you teach, guide, support, comfort. You deserve the blessing, and we are blessed. This journey is only the beginning. You can see it in your faces, hear it in your voices, and feel it in your essence.
May God bless you as God has blessed us, the joy of your existence and the splendor of your lives.
You may be seated.
For the confirmation class, please rise.
As confirmands, we confirm our commitment to our congregation and to our community, as well as to the teachings and ideals of our Jewish faith. In ancient days, when the temple stood in Jerusalem, our people made a pilgrimage to bring the fruits of their harvest as an offering to God for the bounty of the earth and for the gift of Torah. In this spirit, we bring our offering of the Jewish future. We confirmands stand here today, as generations have done so before us, to make this declaration. God says, "Turn to me and live."
We the people answer, and all that you have spoken we will do.
God says, "I make this covenant with you, but also with those who will come after you."
And we the people answer, we will do and we will understand.
God says, love one another as yourselves."
And we the people answer, we are here, we are ready.
I want to thank all of you for sharing in this beautiful Shabbat evening service, and an extraordinary one, because truly it is an evening of so many blessings, especially 5 beautiful blessings, but especially the blessings that we all also share with them and that we bestow upon them. So I am grateful to everybody being a part of this Shabbat. I'd like to invite forward briefly Bill Contour, member of our board of directors, I know, who will come up and share some greetings as well as happenings at the synagogue.
Shabbat Shalom. In your service bulletin, I won't read through everything because I know that'll make everybody happy. But one thing I did want to point out was we have the Brotherhood Speaker Service or series this Sunday, which is Breakfast with the Beatles and our cantor. It's supposed to be really good, right? Celebrating 50 years of the Beatles. That'll be at 10 o'clock at TBS in the library. please RSVP to Sylvan Schwartz. The information is there so we can have breakfast for you all. There's also mahjong, some other things. And remember, this summer we can hang out with Rabbi Danel. And there's a list of what's going on with Rabbi Danel while he'll be here this summer. And Shabbat Shalom.
Excellent. We conclude our service as we turn for Aleinu Leshabeach in our prayer books to page 282. I invite you to please rise.
Aleinu Leshabeach Ladon HaKol, Laten Kulam Yotzeh Breshit, Shelo Asar Gdulei HaRatzot, ולא שמנו בשלחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו בהם, וגורלנו ככל המורא. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us, yet truly the Torah of their lives is written on our hearts, and we remember each of them. We especially remember Rabbi Chaim Asa, who's recently departed. We remember those whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat and during this coming week. Clara Amster, Joseph Brown, Rose Cohen, Matthew Feinstein, Lillian Gibble, Lawrence Goldman, Leon Hasson, Max Kirsch, Triva Klein, Larry Lazarus, Robert Littman, Nehemiah Myers, Jacob Miller, Anna Omens, Henry Pater, Gary Schaefer, Henry N. Schneider, Suzanne Schneider, Louis Swartz, Hyman Thompson, and Betty Zwick. If there is anyone here who's in the period of mourning of Shiva, Shloshim, or Shana, or is observing a yahrzeit of a loved one whose name I have not called, I invite you, please, share their names from your seat as I face in your direction. We join together as we remember all of them and all of those who have given their lives al Kiddush Hashem for the sanctification of God's holy name. Those 149 soldiers whose graves, some of them have no one visiting with them, but we do take them into our hearts with our own. And we join together, Kaddish Yatom, our Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכונו ויומכונו וחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי קדושה ובריחו, לעילם מנפו ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירם ביעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שמם הרבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום. עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say together, Amen. I have one other question. Is there anybody who's celebrating a June birthday? Ooh. Got all of those who are celebrating a June birthday, meet me over by the challah. No, you're not going to catch a little? Come on, our blessings hook our little foreheads, but also from God on high. All right, muzzle top, we put our arms around those who are with us. Kelly, let's sing along. Hello, say hello.
Oh, say shalom in Roma. Hallelujah, say shalom. Hallelujah. Be'akol Israel ve'yimeru. Oh, say shalom b'imroma, uya say shalom aleinu me'akol Israel ve'yimeru. Amen. Oh, say shalom in Roma, hallelujah, say shalom, hallelujah. Be'akol Israel ve'yimeru. Amen. Oh, say shalom in Roma, hallelujah, say shalom, aleinu me'akol Israel ve'yimeru. Amen.